I'm going to say that again as we wait about 15 seconds just to make sure that the stream starts properly. Because, yeah, I need to make sure it starts I still need to go through the pre-stream stuff just to make sure the stream is actually going to work. But as we get into this Nuzlocke here, I can show you the scoreboard really quick. That I can do. But, yes, I overslept because, for some reason, I thought maybe this time I'm going to try to just, stay up this time because I'm busy doing things with the score of 1. I didn't actually see which old god it was. Let me take another look for myself. Zictast. And yeah, turns out, fell asleep. So, and then woke up past the stream time. And then I woke up, I was like, well, this is a first. So, as we get into Harold Kiris Birthmark Character Exclusive Random Item Mimi, I figure I might as well just do it then. No need for an announcement, just do it. And we'll do about 2 or 3 runs though. That I will do because yeah, I feel that's only appropriate. So, as we get into this here, one more time, I did oversleep for the stream, and yeah, here we are now. So, Dexterity, Knowledge, Second Mystery, Takshi-san, Charisma, and maybe a Light check. We're Mimi though, so 3 Stamina, 2 Reason damage in the Lighthouse. That's just what I'm going to accept, and away we go. As for what I overslept on specifically, yes, it was project stuff, but also looking into some, basically looking to some other things. Those other things being, hey, what am I gonna do if I put my games on itch.io and things don't turn out as planned? It's not so bad, but I should still probably think about things. Because the way, as we see Festival, Sailors, Flood, Kana, and Bulletin, and we take Eels immediately for Kana, yeah, when you put things on itch.io, they don't appear immediately, which means that I need to change the timing of when I plan to, well, put games on itch.io. I forgot about this because it's been a while since I put anything on itch.io, so I wasn't quite as familiar with the process. Now, this does mean I'm not entirely sure because I've not released anything. I've just started the makings of a draft page, but for the most part, it's not so bad. And then, old gods forbid I do anything on Steam. Not that it's bad, I'm just saying that the process for Steam, for those who don't know, does involve a deposit of, I think for US or for Americans, it's still at least $100 USD from a deposit by the developer who wants to put things on a Steam page, as opposed to itch.io, which is completely free. But and then you'd have other storefronts like GameJolt and whatnot, but again, I'm mainly looking at itch.io. There's a reason why I say it specifically. And so if I want things to appear properly on itch.io, and by that I mean basically just release the game and a page happens, as I forget that I need to look at one of these. I need to do a patrol in one of these locations. Probably going to be the mansion still. But we'll see, because I forgot the rest of my mysteries. But yeah, it's gonna depend on when things actually happen. But basically, sooner rather than later. But if I'm not finished with any of my projects, then it has to be later anyway. So we'll see what actually happens. But yes, just explaining that I was going through some research into how projects appear. Oh, that's right, I got canceled. I guess we just do this and hope and pray. I should have done this earlier. I was a little, but yeah, just to get back to focused on the game ASAP. Was up all night working on project, and then I realized something, and then I was checking things on itch.io, and then I fell asleep because I was like, oh, I'll just stay awake until stream time. Nope, turns out human beings need sleep. And I do feel a lot better now as opposed to 8 hours ago when I was like, which was a good time for me to stop, but no, I kept going on, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stay up until I do the stream, and that was a bad idea. So here I am instead, and this is technically just gonna be the video for today, but hey, as we get restless here, and so we don't die, Crimson Moon, and we lose Bath, so hey. But thank you for coming in and saying good luck. That does make me feel a lot better. Hey, it turns out also that human contact and human social, people talking to me in real life or on the internet. It helps me out a lot better too. That way I'm not just sitting somewhere working on a game on my own. Flood, by the way, and then Sailors, so we do have some other things to go on to. But yes. So that while this is not a normal stream time for me, I do hope that people around the world are safe, basically, and that's all I'll say about that, because I do know things have happened in the last 1 or 2 weeks in a big cluster of oof. So yes, keep appearing, recommended, don't know why. Well, assuming you're a robot, you're welcome, because I've also had a few, just to be candid here, had a few robots try to contact me in places, and I was like, please be a person, and it wasn't a person. So yeah, basically, yeah, as we get near to basically 2 weeks from now, it's less likely that I'm gonna make it on time. But even if that's the case, I do plan to release something, whether it's the game I've been trying to work on for the past few months. Even though, again, it's not gonna be a lot much. It's gonna feel like an early access, basically, because I don't have everything on the project. I have everything fleshed out, but it's not a thing. And then, as for Halloween, you're gonna see some RPG Maker assets, basically. Also, I'm gonna die if I do this, so hey. Anywho. What? Yeah. If you mean me talking about robots, so yeah, I've had what I think are robots contact me. I feel confident in this because I kind of poked a reply back to the person that should not be a robot that I hoped was not a robot, and I didn't get a response, as opposed to, real-life human beings, where I send a reply of some sort. And is this Frostbite Land, by the way? It is. But, hey. But yeah, I send a reply, and I get a reply back from what I assume is a human being, because there are ways to kind of test for robots. And yeah. Let me explain that a bit, because I need to focus on not dying here. I can go for a twofer, but it's a 50-50 shot. Or not. Or maybe I just brace here. Or dodge, sorry, because I'm already taking 1 stamina damage. But yes, one of the simple ways, in case if you ever get an email or some message from a source in which there are other places you can reach out. For example, if you think someone is impersonating, a company, let's just say, then you should reach out, not through the message, but reach out in other places to make sure that they are not a robot. By the way, I did not get that dodge, which makes me sad. But I also did not hit... maybe I should have just run away, but it's a bit late now, so 68%. And yeah, if the source has... or the source that you purport to... oh my goodness, pain, by the way. If the source that you believe may be a robot... it has, other places you can contact them through those other places and ask, hey, I got a reply that I think is from you. Is this you? And if they say no or yes, then you get an answer. By the way, we are dying here, and I did not hit a single 68%. So, you know what we're just going to do? We're just going to eat another stamina damage and then just do Desperate Prep Strong. Never mind. Was that... wait, was that the bug? Oh my goodness. I had 2 stamina left, right? What's going on here? Anywho. Well, let's get reset then. So we did have Zectast. And look where that got me. But anywho, as we move back to the game. So, what is a Nuzlocke and what is a thing? Hey, I could be a robot too, but that's why I do streams, to make sure that I am not a robot or, AI. Which, again, I don't personally believe that AI... as a concept is bad, but just like a lot of other things, it can be abused for bad things. Though to Colt, character exclusive random item Mimi again, but we're on random item stats, so let's see if it does a thing. I was going to address something, but let me see. Why does it involve emails? A challenge on the game World of Horror. Yeah, so this is basically a Nuzlocke in a game where you would not assume there would be a Nuzlocke challenge, but I just made up rules, so if you saw the rules pop up for a moment, that's what they are. Beep boop robots. Strength, Takshi-san, knowledge, second, and charisma check. And by second, I mean second mystery. And then the second encounter check last, which I hopefully remember, because I don't often do. I mostly actually just deduce the check. But let's see what our scalpel becomes. So 5 damage. Hey, very good, but 90 speed. I'll have to take it. That's just as good, you know, that's a bit slower than the monkey wrench. So if you do 5 damage, you're welcome in my house. Now, if you do 5 damage and you're 100 or 110 speed, things change a bit, but depends on the character stats, and Mimi does not have bad knowledge. In fact, she has a lot of knowledge, so yeah, that's all I can say for myself. Akamanto, Teacher, Flood, Kana, and Nails. So we take Eels again. But this time, so I just spoke on all, never mind, I see a max threat level forest, I'm putting patrols there. But anywho, yeah, I wanted to do more Frostpunk this week. That was not going to happen with how I... again, I'm swerving a lot. And when I mention swerve, I mean, basically, I've thrown out a game, or an idea for a game, or basically, when I say swerve, sometimes it's big and sometimes it's small scale. In this case, it's a large scale, because I mentioned earlier, I threw out... I was like, oh, this game loop is not good. And then I decided, yeah, let's just change that, because that's not fun, I think. Now, that's not to say that an idea that I or someone else may have is inherently going to be bad, but a lot of the time it's execution. So if you don't execute something correctly, or you don't, in this case, implement a game mechanic correctly in a way that makes it fun, then that can be a failing of just the developer themselves. And in my case, it is, but I decided, yeah, that's not going to work. By the way, 90% for 3 reason damage, and we're taking 3 more reason damage at the end of this. I would rather just run. Or I could brace for 70%. Let's see if my luck is any better here. No, not yet, but we'll try our best. Oh my goodness, and this is what I get for oversleeping. Because that is what happened, I overslept, and the thing... Because I was trying to just stay up and then do the stream. Although, all things considered, if I were tired during a stream, yeah, that wouldn't be good either. At this point, though, do I just cut my losses and run? Yeah, probably, right? So I did 2 attacks at 70% and did not hit any of them. And the chances of that happening was 16%. Chance of missing twice. Chance of missing was 30... No. Was it? Did I say 70? No, it was worse than that. Anywho, 9%. I think it was 9%. Because their chance to miss was 30%. And I missed twice. So 30% of 30% is 9%. And if I'm wrong there, then I'm still tired, even though, you know, I woke up and prepared for the stream. That's literally how this stream started. Anywho, we get the Stalker's Mask, but, you know, if I can't hit an enemy, it doesn't really matter, does it? As we end up with 13 stamina and 1 reason. I'm doing a chalk my, like the hand clapping motion. I don't even know how to explain it. My words are failing me. But... you know, if this stream only ends up, quote-unquote stream only ends up being 30 minutes to an hour long, it'll be the first of the few streams that I've had where I had to do that. But again, it's because I overslept, and away we go. So, Colt does help, but hey, you know what also doesn't help? Losing Bath. I didn't even need to, I just assumed I was going to lose Bath, and I did. So, Teacher, Flood, Akamanto, Nail. So we have boss misters everywhere as well. That doesn't help. But it's gonna be what I get. So what would I rather do? Yeah, I'd probably rather do Akamanto into Flood and then, you know, Nails Teacher. But we'll do Nails first so I don't die immediately, and then we have a healthy amount of stamina to deal with. That being said, I guess we just do this, because either way we're going to turn this encounter anyway. If that were the case, though, I probably should have just thrown a Hail Mary. My mind is really not working right now. Goodness gracious. Anywho, let's get into the school and see what happens. Is the Theologist in the school? Well, we're not going to be able to find that out, because I'm just going to be running away from this. The Theologist is in the village. I could visit the other places, but let's rest once first. That's gonna lock me out of getting every single... I'm pretty sure you can't rest at all to get every single researcher. It's been a while since I've done that. But that's why I don't know, because I almost never do it. I could sell the library notes and buy a spell, but no. Now the question is, do I want a damage researcher? It probably would help, but I need the reason instead. And away I go. Again, I wish I could calm down a bit and not focus as much while talking about other things, but the Nuzlocke does require me to think a little bit, so... Yeah, let's see what we can do here. 40%. So gamble on a 60 seems to be what we're doing here. And let's see how many 60% we hit. That's really all we're asking here. By the way, I have Kana with me as well, right? But we're on a Thotu? We are. So I was like, why am I taking 2 reason damage still? It's because I'm on the Thotu. With the damage researcher, or the damage decrease researcher in Kana, I was like, you're usually supposed to do, or take only -1 reason damage. That's not the case. Because of Thotu. Anywho. So what we are going to do, though, is trade off 4 stamina for 2 reason. And then we find out what else we want to do. I probably just end up taking... No, can we throw a Hail Mary? No, we can't even do that. Well, hey. I guess we just dodge then and find out. Because this is not guaranteed at any length. 50% into 60% chance to hit. I did miss, and I didn't dodge. Why do I do this to myself? I think it's because I get this. This is 15 HP. Yeah, this should be 15 HP. So either way, right? I just happened that I missed and I didn't dodge. Which again, 50% into 60%. Or sorry, a 40% chance to miss, and 50% of that is 20%. You know, I simply think that sometimes RNG is going to work out. It doesn't. I can't really, again, let me add this disclaimer really quickly, even though I'm being serious when I mention RNG as well, in that... You know, I don't really blame developers. They add RNG because, you know, it might feel cool, but, you know, please do go through the motions of calculating how, you know, on average, how many people are going to experience average RNG, and, you know, a lot less players will be frustrated. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to cater to every unlucky person's win, but if not that, then you have to add some other way to not feel bad when RNG says nah. Which I think there are ways to do that. Oftentimes developers just say, yeah, just deal with it. But, you know, how do we know this? Because gacha games exist. Yeah, they exist. To be fair, though, from a business standpoint, you know, not just gacha games, but any games that have, you know, loot boxes or microtransactions, not heavy, but they have some amount. There is kind of not a method to the madness, but how do I want to say this? How do I want to say it in a way that's accurate, is what I'm trying. I'm not trying to pretty things up, although I do things because robots, but basically they need to make money somehow, so if it's a game that's completely free to play, yes, there is a business reason and the business reason being it makes money, and that's all I can really say. Yeah, they sadly exist, yeah, so gacha games. But, again, it's not inherently a bad practice. Ethically, though, it is kind of in that gray area, because, well, you know, it does feed upon the human desire to not miss something. And we know these because, you know, limited time offers or limited time things that only exist for a while, but eventually they'll come back. Do I want to gamble as 80%, by the way? No, I don't. So what I'm going to do instead is, I think, kick. Because I do 4 damage, and that means next turn I can do a thing. But from a business side of things, yes, it does make money, and if it didn't make money, you know, we wouldn't be seeing as many microtransactions, but they work, so... Nothing I can really say when the evidence exists in my face. Although, for all I know, maybe companies are losing out a little bit, but... At that point, not sunken cost fallacy, but they just want to get as much money as possible, and at least, you know, get something out of it. But on average, I would assume that there is some amount of success, which is why we see it in video games so many times. Although, yeah, the exact specifics and the numbers of that, I don't know, but again, we see it over and over and over in video games, so there must be some level of success. Anyway, we'll take first aid here. We'll also take strength, just so we can brace. Now, normally I wouldn't brace. Also, we're on our 4th mystery with 35% doom, so as much as I've been complaining about RNG, we're not doing as bad as it seems. That being said, though, we do want to be careful. By the way, I think I do want to rest. So if there was a thingamajiggy, if there was a mystery where I would not want to take the Restless bonus and just rest. It would probably be right now while I have 42% Doom. And there are things like that Cultist event where, yes, while the Cultists do decrease Doom by 1 every mystery, you could just get that and be like, oh yeah. Jordan, knowing you, think you would enjoy Coffin of Andy and Lele? Let me think about... So the way I think about games, and the way I'm going to recommend this to you, is based on what I believe players might like about Coffin of Andy and Lele. So, off the top of my head, and again, this is not like reasoned or logical thought. This is basically kind of stream of consciousness, so take with it as you will. So, Coffin of Andy and Lele, first of all, more like a visual novel experience. So, if you were looking in for a game to, you know, think about and play, no, not really. Secondly, if you want shock value, it definitely has that, but after that, the game, I think, even just warned you about its themes as well, of, you know, and I'm saying this so the robots don't hurt me, but in the context of the video game that is / visual novelist, but you are moving around and, you know, making decisions. But in the context of the video game, there is cannibalism and contextualized EST time. So yeah, I'm gonna even play it safe still and omit letters here and there. But there are basically sensitive topics, and you know, if that irks you, sure. But at the same time, if you're watching this channel, you probably, you know, you can stomach it. Whatever that means. Also, did I never get the handcuffs, by the way? Oh no, I used the handcuffs on Nakamanto. I just realized my own mistake. Well, hey. Here we are bracing. Are there any jump scares? No. Not in my opinion. There are definite, and even if there were, because last I remember, again, to my memory, compared to other horror games, it definitely doesn't have jump scares, but again, there are kind of like, you know, the screen fades in, fades out. If you call that a jump scare, sure. If you don't, then no, there are technically no jump scares. It is not a game that relies on jump scares for its horror. I'll say that much without any spoilers. Am I going to be okay here, by the way? 80% to 80%? Do I want to gamble on that? No, I don't. So yeah, if you don't mind the sensitive topics in that game, I do think the story is good in terms of the story it wants to tell. Again, I'm trying not to spoil anything. I know that the game's been out for a few years, but the game is still technically not its complete state because I think it's being released by chapters last I checked on it. So, anywho, let's brace here and hope to hit this. Okay, good. We nearly die for it, but hey, we're okay. Again, let me say this again. I'm keeping tabs on different indie game devs because as an indie or a wannabe indie game dev myself, it would be you know, good for more than a few reasons, not just for gamer mind. And I'm like, yeah, I want to play a good game. Anywho, let's finally investigate teacher, and I think I still want to rest here because I'm about to die. Alternatively, what I think I'm gonna do is visit the tree, traumatized, and mind wipe, which I guess we'll live with for the moment. But hey. If you end up playing the game and it actually has a jump scare and you get mad at me, then I guess it's my fault. But again, relative to other games, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have what normal people would call a jump scare. But again, as I mentioned before, I think it has more atmospheric horror. You know, the horror in Andy and Lele, in my opinion, is more the psychological / the plot of, boy, these characters are really oof. But, anywho. We're gonna run here, by the way. We have the Doom to do so. Oh, that's right. I think we have more than a few village investigations. But yeah, I do think it's a good story experience relative to games that have come out around it. But again, at the same time, unlike other genres like action-based games, RPGs, MMORPGs, it's not for a lack of games that are failing. It's more that we don't have as many good visual novels out. And yes, you're moving north, south, east, west in that game. There are multiple endings, but I treat Andy and Lele more like a visual novel than than the what it seems like RPG Maker like game, which, you know. Anywho, we can Thotu Flame, we can, but I think I would rather just run. Also, I did forget my second encounter, so we're gonna be at around 75% doom at the end of this, because this enemy is going, this boss is probably going to do a lot of damage to my face. But anywho, also I need to prepare the sensor bunny. I don't know why I do this to myself. So in OBS, when I'm in studio mode, it means the sensor bunny does not appear immediately. Also, cultist hunter. Well, we should be able to deal. Yeah, this is guaranteed, so I don't need to. We're taking stamina damage, but I don't need to deal with as much pain. Now I could gamble here. Can I even? Is it even a gamble? Or is it a gamble? It's a gamble. 90-90, and I don't want to die. So, for the sake of completing at least one run this stream, we're just going to do this. And move on with life. That being said, so to put myself in basic, or to give you basically where I'm at with my projects, really all I need to do is just release my projects and gradually work on them. But I'm trying to make sure that I have a game. I have a game at all. I mean, that's really all I need to say. By the way, I should actually have Thotu Flame here. Because if I don't... or for some reason, this is how tired I was. I thought this was doing 5 damage to me. It's doing 3. But, still. The problem is that I am still dying. What I can do, though, is trade off 2 reason for 1 stamina next turn, instead of attack boost twice, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Or, actually, don't I have... Yeah, I have 15 damage on demand. I don't know why I do this to myself. So no RNG required, and into the boss I go. Now, again, we're dying to stamina, but for the moment... I think in this first turn, I still just do double attack, because I can't... Well, actually, no, I can get badly bleeding, so... scratch what I just said. Let's just do this and get out for 70% doom. At 70% doom. Although the HP is a lot higher, and I normally don't take... Yeah, so... I can't throw the Stalker's Mask. I don't want to, but I'm going to, just so I get out of this encounter quicker. Which does make a difference, but... Anywho. We have a nice amount of doom, and let me take away the sensor bunny, and, you know, we'll see what happens. So, I should have taken away... Okay, I'm looking at the way I'm monitoring a stream. So, we do have both second checks, and I forgot them both. Now, the good news is, I don't need to do much else. Although we do lose 6 stamina, so never mind, hold on. Do you have the 6th floor, by the way? No, we don't. So we take 5 doom, we take 10 doom, we take 6 doom from Takushi-san, which means I can rest 4 times. So, 2, 3, 4. I think I can level up, but we'll even rest again. Because I should remember my second encounter, or no, second mystery, sorry. Which should be more than enough to survive. Now, the unfortunate part is I could have just gone into this encounter with 3 stamina, but, you know. And if you don't know, then I wanted to go into this encounter with 3 stamina so I could do a desperate action. That's not going to happen. Alternatively, I could have Thotu Flame. Is this... No, I don't want to Thotu Flame. I just lied to myself. I can also trade off Reason here because I'm about to get First Aid. So basically, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't need to rest as often as I did, but just to be safe, we're going to make sure that Takushi goes down while trading Reason. And I can trade about 4 Reason and still be okay. Not 6, that would be a bit oof. But 4 Reason. And away we go. And then First Aid, and we're pretty good. But yes, both projects are still going to be RPG Maker. That I have not swerved on. If I ever did, that would actually not be in my benefit. What did I take second, by the way? Hold on. I took Nails definitely for... I think I took Flood second because I was like, oh, yeah, I'm in pain. Yeah, okay, so I should be good. But yeah, both projects will still be an RPG Maker. I think the Halloween project is most likely because I'm running low on time and I didn't get to do what I wanted. So there, along with just game mechanics not being as I intended, it really was the Sweaty Assailant, by the way, my second encounter. I was doing some graphical work and I looked at everything that I had and I was like, yeah, this doesn't look good. Also, I should show you the scoreboard because we just did an Thotu run. Sorry. Yeah, and basically that's why I'm pretty much reserving. Now, it's still going to be a Halloween project, but I don't plan for there to be jump scares. At least from what I have on my plate, I don't have any jump scares, but I guess we'll see in about 2 weeks when I get to kind of testing the game. But with a score of 1 and a quick play, one last quick play on my hands, we have Azal Medical History character exclusive jury. Medical, so we do start with some experience. The bad news is injuries galore based on RNG. But hey, fun. Light, charisma, knowledge, second encounter, dexterity. Every single stat check, maybe, but we might as well just assume that. Definitely second encounter, so please, Jordan, remember, instead of guess Sweaty Assailant, because Flood was my second mystery. But anywho, yeah, let's move on. Library notes. I was gonna say something and I forgot. But anywho. If I remember, I remember. If I don't, well, I'm me. But yeah, let's put on some new clothes and move on. I see Scissors, I see Botanist. What else do we have? Recluse. Sailors painting. Wow, okay, so aside from Sailors and Botanists, no in-town mysteries. Good thing I'm taking Sailors last, but what does that mean I do in the between? Or second and third? Probably Recluse into Scissors. And I immediately get the experience roll. Thankfully, I'm Jury, so usually I'm not holding... It's funny, in a funny way, the interaction there between Jury and Azal experience rule is actually quite good, but... Anywho. You know, getting a weapon at all would be nice if this illegal den would allow me to do that. But you know, when you don't roll any weapons at all, you just get really sad, and the horror progress is just so high. That being said, at least the experience rule isn't going to hurt me once the horde catches up, but meh. Meh. By the way, our maxed out level 4... Okay, so we'll do Forest, I think. Yeah, we'll do Forest because we have Painting at least. And that's going to be some Forest encounters, but... For the most part, we should be fine. There aren't a lot of things that can go wrong, aside from RNG, but... Yeah, there aren't a lot of things that can go wrong. As for tomorrow, so that I can end the stream as soon as possible and people get on with their day, because I don't want to waste their time. Tomorrow's probably just going to be another Nuzlocke day, both as an apology for, you know, me doing this stream late, but also because, you know, I didn't do a stream elsewhere anyway, so... yesterday, relative to when I'm doing the stream now. So yeah, weekend full of World of Horror. Although to that note, I really should, you know, finish the custom content. I want to finish off doing most of my World of Horror content on this channel. Not that I'm completely stopping, but if I'm gonna tune down the amount of World of Horror I do, I want to at least complete a few more, at least custom characters. But we'll see what I actually do. By the way, did I do this? 50%. I should just run here. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but horror progress, right? Oh my sweet goodness, into Torn Muscle. Man. Can I? Okay, now I'm just curious. At this point, my next question is, do I want to gamble? Do I have to gamble? Yes, I do, actually. So let's see how unlucky I'm going to be. 70%. Oh my sweet goodness, game. I knew better, but I'm at a score of 1. I still kind of don't care as much, so hey. What else can I... You know what? Yeah. Oh yeah, I can get 2 dexterity, but hey, guess what? Quick thinking is a lot more useful. If anyone who has the power to balance World of Horror is listening to me, yeah, I take quick thinking over that. You can try to dangle 2 dexterity in front of me, but 1, dexterity weapons are not as great on Harbinger, at least in my opinion. 2, quick thinking is used in more events, which is why you pick it up. And 3, that jury perk costs Doom anyway. And in a game where Doom can rise up through the roof, even on a non-Harbinger run, I think I've given 3 pretty okay reasons, at least, of why you pick quick thinking over that perk. And it is objectively sad, in my opinion. I'm not saying it to kind of spite anyone, but, like, it's hard to me to argue otherwise. Anywho. I do want to level up at least 2 or 3 times, if for no other reason than accuracy. That's really the only reason I'm leveling up. But at this point, yes, we also have the Azal experience rule. So as we take Recluse here, I think these thingy-majiggy also in injuries, by the way, so... Hey, medical history, Azal, injury rule, immediately, right after the experience rule. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure Torn Muscle does not affect me. The reason why, or not again, but let me explain why I'm so sad about those injuries is because I'm not going to do Sailors, and the only mysteries I have left are not going to take me into the hospital until Sailors. That's really all I can say for myself. The good news is we're gonna be able to level up. The bad news is yeah, jury perks. So we'll take the stamina damage here. Elusive is the best jury perk, and it's mainly because, I mean, aside from, I mean, technically there's a downside. The downside is you're not taking another perk, like Quick Thinking. But -5 Doom is pretty good. I was going to say -5 Doom. I don't know why I say that sometimes, but anywho. You get the point, though. It decreases Doom, and that's good. Now, me having 6 Reason there, it's bad, but maybe we'll be okay. Did I have Flood? Why do I think I have Flood? Scissors, Painting. Yeah, so we don't have Flood. No reason to do fleshy toy things. But, yeah, this is also not as good. It's a good thing, and when I say it's a good thing, bad thing, that, you know, dodge... I still don't have enough time to dodge and sever, I'm pretty sure. This is such a garbage action. Dodge, again, if you want... again, and as I want to say... if you want to criticize something in a video game as we get Coughing Blood, hopefully we don't get another Coughing Blood. Hold on, let's find out if we get Coughing Blood again. Okay, good. We didn't, but... 1, that's no consolation prize, because we're taking probably Scissors next. 2, experience rule plus the injury rule. Although, I think I could have leveled up. No, I couldn't have. No, I couldn't have. I guess in the interest of not dying to 0 statting. Hey, that's why Escape is good, so you don't 0 stat. But anywho, I was gonna say something earlier that I really wanted to say, and all this injury shenanigans really threw me off. So, for all intents and purposes, I should take Sailors now so I can rest. But our Doom is high enough as is, so into Scissors I go. Now, what I will do is immediately use that. But I'm pretty sure I have no curses. And even if you could still do the bug thing that is... The bugged thing that is, I think you get rid of on the run before this update. As we do a bow and 4 claps. With any curse removal, you could remove on the run, I think. But no, that is a bug, and even if I could do it, I wouldn't, just out of principle. I reject it out of principle. I think that's a bit of a spoiler. But anywho. So the horror is going to catch up. The bad news is I won't be able to level up anymore. The good news is I don't have to care about the experience rule anymore, although we are holding on to these injuries, and that's hurting my Doom. Could be a lot worse. Now, on that note, I think we do 14 damage here in real life, because this is 15 minus 1, right? Yeah. So the way how I got that is... The Army Knife normally does 5 damage. A 5 damage base weapon does 15 damage on a Desperate Prep Strong. And you might think, well, doesn't that lower your damage to 12? No, because additions and negative modifiers to your damage are after the double damage of Desperate Struggle. Rolled an 11 there. I mean, hey. So place your bets. Am I gonna die or survive? I would even gamble against myself, but let's find out. Bow 4 claps. If I fail 2, I might be dead. Well, no, actually, I do need to fail all 3 because Restless bonus will heal me. Bow, clap, 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 or is it a bow sandwich? It's a bow sandwich. So, or clap sandwich. Sorry for being semantically correct, because there's a bow, clap, 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 bow, and away we go. Still gonna heal Reason, and thank goodness I have baths available, but we're entering Painting now. And for the sake of this... Oh, I'm holding onto a medical kit. I've been complaining about torn muscle the whole time. Anywho, that's no consolation prize, but it's better than nothing. That's where we'll kind of gauge our selves. All things... I should probably grab a pack of cigarettes. I also forgot my second encounter, so here's hoping. We don't have bad odds. We're on the 4th mystery with 60% doomed. I think that's actually still pretty good. But anything could happen, right? So what we're hoping here, and by that I mean I want to decrease doom by 6 overall and run into 2 free events. But when things like this happen, we hope for the best. And thankfully we rolled a 1. Now the game will still gonna add a modifier there, but at least it's a 1 roll. And away I go! You know what? I forgot. I just realized something. As I'm sitting here doing a thing, and I'm taking penalty damage. That's right. Well, let's see if we die. Well, 2 stamina guaranteed, and now we're living on a prayer. Yeah, I would gamble against myself. If I somehow survive this, and I don't die due to my own brain just being like, oh, deciding not to work today, then, yeah, I would still bet against myself, even if I were in a healthy state of mind. But maybe I survive. Hey, I will. So, to be fair, though, right now I'm believing I won't even survive this mystery, but let's find out, shall we? It's looking pretty good, all things considered, so maybe I'm gonna be wrong. Let's find out, though. 2 investigations left. 2% doom. This could be a book burn or a bath. It's a curse instead, but hey. Hey, turns out I'm wrong, at least for now. Also, I did not store the items I had, so we took more doom than I needed to. I thought I would throw the wooden bat at an enemy. Turns out I didn't run into anything, so the game put me in a false sense of insecurity. Yes, I said that right. A false sense of insecurity. And then acted on another insecurity I have. 2 doom for each fund, but hey, guess what? We're entering this. We're gonna grab a pack of cigarettes, and then we're gonna visit the monument. And it asks for 1 funds, but hey, guess what? We can sell the wooden bat here. We can also drink a bottle of water. And I'm not going to take a risk. I'm just going to smoke the cigarettes now and store the empty bottle. I could sell it, but for the sake of surviving on stamina, I was going to say stamina, stamina and reason. For the sake of surviving on stamina, let's do a thing. Let's not sell or throw the empty bottle. And let's hope I hit both of these attacks at 90%. Good. My luck isn't that bad. But we're not out of the woods yet. Also, at this point, as the month of October continues onward, I am leaning more towards a free Halloween game. I really felt 95% sure I was gonna make it a paid project. I think I'm just gonna make it free. But you are free to donate. If I were to plug in my own little self for the moment. Hey, guess what? Quick thinking is more helpful than Escapee, the perk. But anyway, let's move on. Also, I am in Sailor, so it would behoove me to throw away 2 items. That being said, first we have to fight this full written thing. I do mean fight, because I don't want to run away and lose to Doom. What god? Oh, Azal. Why did I need to ask which old god I was on when I knew perfectly what I was on? And let's find out. So, 90%. Can I hit a 90%? Thank you, game. Unless I did math wrong. But I should switch this to the thingamajiggy. I guess I'm not going to do that. I can also just throw away the checkbook, right? We do have a torch, so, yeah. I think I can store that at the end of the mystery, but for the moment, let's police station first. The seaside. Because we're not entering the forest anymore, and away we go. So yeah, again, I'm just going to probably end the stream like in a minute or 2 after this run ends, because I don't want to waste anyone's time. Get drenched, sure, I guess, but yeah, if nothing else, tomorrow's going to be another Nuzlocke. There's a 75% chance of that. Otherwise, maybe it's going to be Frostpunk 2. Maybe it's going to be something different, but for the moment, by the way, that was a lot of Doom to get at the end there. And yeah, fund. So I was dead anyway, even if I stored this torch and even if I got rid of all my funds. The reason is because, yeah, the injury rule really did a number on me here. Now, I could have gotten rid of that, but that costs Doom anyway, so guess we're getting reset here. Again, let's just go to as far as we can. High score run. High score run on this channel means just go as far as you can before you die without just rage quitting. So, yeah, we're gonna get drenched. A nice drenched, by the way. And yeah, we get reset here one more time. So as we end on a score of 0, really I've only done it to myself, but you know, I've done what I could. So anyone has about a minute or 2 to kind of ask me any questions. I'm not going to do any more runs. I'll spare you that much, but yeah, we had a score of 0. Yeah, I'm just going to announce what we're doing really quickly. So if the plan is that in 2 to 3 weeks I release the game I don't know how much horror-like it's going to be, but I'm going to do what I can. Otherwise, the rest of this week, as you may have noticed, I didn't even complete the Harbinger Horror series, so pain. But yeah, without further ado, I guess this wasn't even a minute, but I'd just like to thank everyone for coming by to watch this very, very late starting stream. But hey, I'm human. I can only do what I do. I really shouldn't have tried to stay up, though. I say this sitting here as I'm sitting in front of like 7, well, what would be more than 7, but I think I threw some cans into the recycling. But yeah, I'm sitting in front of like 7 cans of things that have caffeine in them, and yeah, that's all I really have to report. But yeah, without further ado, yeah, I would like to thank everyone for watching now, or anyone watching in the future for watching this as a VOD, and I will see you when I see you. Again, if you want to reach out to me, I'm available usually through Discord in some way. I might be busy, but I'll get back to you ASAP. Otherwise, I do have an email, but that's for more business-related things. So if you have, if you have something you want to advertise to me, as long as you're not a robot, feel free to reach out to me through there. Again, I've already closed, or I'm no longer on Twitter/X, so you can't reach me there anymore. I really should take anything out that I'm not doing, like any references to that place out. I think I've tried. Otherwise, the only other place to reach me is here on this channel by commenting at some point, and I do try to look at as many comments as possible. It's not like I'm flooding in comments, but I do get more than a few comments at times when people comment on videos that are quite old. But yeah, without further ado, though, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye! Bye! Jordan, end the stream! End the stream, Jordan, please!